Hey guys, let's look at a game. This game is one pro versus my first Go teacher. I was probably one Dan, one Q at the time. So we're going back, let's just say 50 years. So long ago before anything. Back here, pros didn't travel like they do now. Well, first, there's no internet. So it's not like, oh, yeah, I saw the 9 Pro yesterday online. There is no online. And politically, it was different. So you don't see one country traveling to another country, sharing. These things were rare. So it's a bit unusual. Um, there's actually quite a bit of story behind this, but that's a long story and not sure how much is appropriate to share. But let's have a look at this game. This was played in our front room. So the pro versus my first teacher. Here's the game. Okay, my first teacher, black, Paul Hu Shi, Taremingsu, Jiao Hu Shi. Okay, all regular kind of stuff. Notice white's left the ace stone there all by himself. So it's 2-1 in black's favor, upper right. This was a little less common than it is now. Nowadays, it's like nothing. Back then, it was a little something. Done. Okay. Let's look at a next move that they didn't play, and let's look at why not. Okay, we're looking at A. It finishes B, goes very well with B. It goes very well with C. It's a pretty nice move. There's a major problem with it, and some subtle ones. So the idea is black has all these stones on the right side of the board and only one somewhere else. So white can start overpowering the rest of the board. That's the problem. Okay. Next, the 3 A stones already have some support from the B stones. They have a home nearby. Very hard to attack the A stones, similar to how it's sort of hard for black to attack the C stone. It's a great deal of room. So the A group, the 3 A stones, don't particularly need help. So to help them when you don't need to, when you already have plenty of stones on the right, it's just over-concentrated. Okay, so instead, kick and pinch. Now, there's a pretty big difference, A versus B. One could say that B, this guy, actually doesn't attack. Attack is defined by removing an option for health. Well, right now, if these white stones wanted to defend themselves and move to the left, one possible move would be here. Now, it's a bit narrow. It's not a full move, but it certainly is a great move for health and things like this. Now, granted, we'd love to go one more, maybe even one more. But when black plays here, there's still that move. So black hasn't actually stopped white from going in that direction. Does it affect white? Most certainly, but not a literal attack. This is the sort of move you play in the early opening, which we are in. So this would be the normal move if it's time to play on top. But they're thinking, well, I'm still trying to support my A group. Well, if we make this an actual attack, then white doesn't have time to launch a counterattack. So this is defending the C group. That makes sense? Okay. So A, keep the pressure up so white doesn't have time to hurt C. Counter pinch. That's basically playing white wants to defend his 2 stones. Here's one way. Not only am I threatening to connect under, but I'm hurting your black stone. If your black stone is hurt, you can't attack me as well. So it's helping. I had a student a couple months back, and he had trouble with saying that something like this defends the A group. And we decided that the word help felt a lot better. And I had to agree. B helps A. Okay. Now, the pro played here instead. Same idea. Bothering black, so it's hard for black to attack. Okay. Black's idea. I want to help A. I want to go through this one more time. We're thinking about our A stone, so we pinch to help C. White pinches to help B. Black attacks A to help B. Okay, now I've said this a few times. It's a major concept. So let's change each one. Okay, we want to help A. Well, then play here. Well, yeah, a little slow, a little over concentrated, a good 95%, but I'm looking for more than 99 or 100% value, not 95. Well, let me start with the attack then. Great, well, I'll just run out and defend myself. Well, this is 100% defense. You don't need that much. If you first play here, black comes out, then you come out 100% defense. So yeah. Then black could say, great, I need to defend my A stone. Or he could say, I think I can help get some profit as I defend. Hopefully all this is making sense. How sometimes you don't need 100% attention. A real classical way of looking at this is the Chinese opening, high or low. This black stone is playing in the corner, but not 100%. Well, it's like a lot of profit, a lot of it's in the corner, but it's also on the side. So yeah, hopefully that made some sense. Black plays here. White comes out. We have a standard sequence. Actually, this isn't so standard nowadays. It's one of these shapes that creates an empty triangle, but we still use it. There's a few that are like that. I haven't seen this one in, decades. So I don't know if it's still, I don't know if it's still valid. Come out. White needs to get out, out, out. Black's defending his group, yes. Out, defense. Now this one isn't defense of a group. It's just a really big move that bothers white. White gets out. Okay, so now we start a series. White turns. Black can't play this way because it's a ladder. He doesn't want to get cut here. Make a weak group. So instead, he plays here. Great. All the way. Can white cut? No. If white tries to cut, black just walks right through and white's in trouble again. Okay. So black can hane here. Can white hane back? No, it's weak. Okay, so white defends. Can black keep coming? No, it's weak. Each one of these moves, it may seem incredibly obvious, but each of these moves, now defend. White turns. Can't white do more? No, that's a nasty cut. This could really get you in trouble. Okay. So just this way. Can we hane? Yeah, ladder works for us. Okay. Hane's always doing more. Ah, this doesn't cut. The ladder works for white. Great. Double. Okay. Things are starting to get a bit complex. It is still commonplace, but there are a lot of things to consider. So if we look at this one, this is the one that is rarely done because white ends up right next to two thick structures, and the white stone is very difficult now. So instead, we tend to see, or with great regularity, see this one, and now black's thick on one side, but not thick on the other. So that's where we usually see it. Why isn't black concerned? Well, this one we know about. That white stone's in tough shape, so we can easily fight back. Even if the white stone runs out, we have so many forcing moves, we'll be fine. And the other one, there's a few things to consider is why black isn't afraid of this cut. First, the white A stone. Oh, very weak. The black B group. Oh, I don't want to use the word alive, but there's shape, there's running, there's ways to live on top, in the center, on the left, options everywhere. And white C group is no longer particularly out. I mean, it's getting surrounded, if you see what I mean. See this surrounding that's happening. There's a lot of things to show that black's not afraid of the cut that's about to happen. White does cut on this side. We were all shocked. And even after the game, it's like, yeah, it's a mistake. Seems to me at the time and now. Fix. And this one. We, boom, boom, boom. White running at A, B, and C. We see this all the time. But D and E, they're great, fantastic for running. But we don't see them very often because they're obviously very thin. So we'll watch it in action here. White comes out. Black has to make a decision. If we go this way, then my A stones are getting kind of weak. And his white B stones are kind of out with a lot of room. Not sure I like this. If I go the other way, so now my A stones are totally in the clear. And this is how the game went. So now I only have to deal with my A group. If I can deal with my A group, then we're good. That's the big question here. How's my A group? Black said, as my first teacher, Paul, yeah, I'm fine. So here we are. Here, great move. When I saw this move, these are the moves that used to amaze me. And now they're like, oh, isn't it obvious? It's like such a difference. With my students, this comes up all the time. I find myself saying, well, just this, and this. It's so obvious. And they're like, that's amazing. I never would have thought of that. It's like, I remember those days when the ideas, it's like, it used to be, well, you have to play this one. How come? Because that's where it's always played. You're saving all your cuts. Something like this. Anyway, this is a great move here. Obviously applying pressure on the A stone and the B group and helping with all the cuts in the C area. So a great move. That comes down. Come on down. That'd be pretty powerful, right? If white turned there. Oh yeah, that's pretty powerful. Black's back to being, real weak. Oh, real weak. Okay. So break it. White comes down, break it. Now black's played these two moves, giving white these two. Well, white's officially thick. We're about to see, can black withstand the attack coming? Okay. Now, as I mentioned, this game was played 45, 50 years ago. A long time ago. And I had memorized the game and had played through many times, but I had a hard time in this section. So I've spent many hours trying to get this sequence correct. I've never been able to. And I'm sad about that because like that part of the game's lost. And this is a personal, it's a memory for me, this game. So some of the moves I know were right. A few I know were wrong, but I don't know how else to get there. So I'll play some moves that aren't necessarily meaningful. So white, okay, that one I know. The correct cut, we know that one. And then here. In my head right now, I'm going, wait a minute, and I'm starting to replay again. How did it really go? What's the right sequence? Okay, so black. White goes for some cutting. Nope. Here. Right, so white coming in through here. Oh, very painful, right? Ouch. Black just being split. So black played here. Up to here, I believe it's correct. I mean, I feel sure. But again, 55 years ago, not entirely positive. White comes down. Black now wants, his group is not stable. So time to stabilize. Black stabilizes this way, which hurts his top group. This is very interesting to me. Every one of these black moves hurts the weak group on top. You don't want to be doing that unless you have confidence, oh, that group will be fine. White starts in. Oh, okay. I thought this was very interesting when it happened. And at this point, I'm still sure it's all the real game. Here. Okay. Now, There's so many things going on here. So, boom, boom, boom. This isn't the, well, actually, that is the game. Notice white's ace stones. Oh, they're surrounded. Black's whole B group surrounded. The C group and stones are surrounded. There's a cut at D surrounding these. There's cuts. So there's a big fight happening here. Okay. So let me get rid of those. I want a clear board here. And let's do it again. Black. I love this move. This is a fantastic move. Black. White. Cut. Cut. Yep. So there's no cut here for black. White can't cut black. So white saves. Tari. In. The whole white group in trouble. Save the cut. Get that corner Sente in. Go for the life. This is all correct. And now black's not alive yet. One more move, black's alive. What? Here's where the game, I can't find how to get to the actual position. It might have gone this way. It might not have. I know there's a few moves that aren't right. So let's just watch it happen. White goes for all the cuts. Black says Atari. White cuts, cap down, only to make the game right. This isn't correct. I can't imagine it being correct. Here, capture, Atari, capture. Okay. So I think some of those were wrong, but the overall shape is correct, I believe. So okay, let's continue. Boom. And start this fight. Boom. And then from here, the really cute move here, the killing move. That's a great move. All right. Out. White's out. Nope. Tari. Tari. White resigns. If white captures, Atari here. White can't get out. And of course, white saw that. Game over, and he resigned. Now, this clump of stones in here, this whole thing here, there's like 4 or 5 moves that I can't remember how it went. But the shape, and I know the top shape is correct because there you are. White dies, that's the shape that killed. But I'm just not quite entirely sure of a few of these moves in here, just how that came to be. It might have gone that way, but I don't know. Anyway, so there's the game. It's very historical to the Kemper Club. Back in those days, since there was no internet, there's clubs all over the place. I ran a club at Stanford for years. I ran a club out of my house for years. It's really different experience. People are coming to your house to play. You meet down at the beer gardens. You're playing at the library. I mean, these sorts of things. Nowadays, it's just, of course, internet for the most part. Okay, so hopefully we saw some interesting ideas and stuff like that. And again, for me, it's memorable. I know the players, and I really want to tell some stories about it, except it might shed a poor light on those involved. But there was a lot of very interesting personality traits going on here. Okay. Great. Hope you enjoyed. Catch y'all later.